94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time for the best 60 minutes of your life. This is the Homer Hour, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Alongside ESPN's John Anderson, here's Emmy Award winner Homer.
The best 60 minutes. I had to get the cut out early. The John Anderson Homer Hour. If you were listening on the last show when I totally went crazy, which I'm incapable of comprehending what goes through Jordan Love's mind in that situation at the end of the game. That's junior high football. But I want to say, as I've said before, you can win a Super Bowl with him. I like him as a player. But he has these moments where I don't know what the hell he's thinking. And he got incredibly lucky because they easily should have lost that game. I need to have somebody go back, John, with the tape, because I think if you have you have a clock guy working in Dallas, on the road, that game ends. You don't get the field goal. But I've said before, as was used, but I believe in Jordan Love, but I also can't comprehend, like now we're at 3 plays. Started with the first down interception against San Francisco.
Yep. What's the other one?
And then the pass that he made on third down when that was intercepted by Browns.
Mm-hmm.
That pass shouldn't be thrown in 100 years. And then he trumps himself. I don't know what he's going to do next. He's going to forget to wear his shoes and slip and fall or something. I don't need to ask the coach. Coach could have the worst play in the world. You're looking at the clock.
Yeah, I'm with you. Look at the clock.
And how quickly do I have to release the ball? Well, so that there isn't even close to the possibility. I don't think he thought, if the ball's tipped or how, when you actually stop the clock after a pass. Mm-hmm. But anyway, then that's probably on the coach as well. So,
but should we be surprised at that? Like, look at Donovan McNabb that one year. Didn't realize you could tie a football game. Like, I don't expect them. You would want them to know all the rules, but I am not expecting that they do.
Right, but either way, at what time, when you're going to release the pass. Foresight. I mean, I can't mess up. But anyway, introduce your partner, and you're nice, so you get to do it.
Well, are we going? We're going early with the three-time sports writer here, Jason.
Yes.
Wildy, what do you have going up? We got to move you up in the lineup. What's going on?
My boss said I need to take my medication, so I'll take my medication, then I'll join you when you guys are done.
I want to know, Jace, what's going on that we have to move you up? What's going on?
The Jaguars have a big JV volleyball matchup with Sheboygan North, which I'm already late for getting out of Lambeau because I was asking Matt LaFleur important questions. So I wanted to talk to you guys beforehand, so at least I could get some of my appearance without missing anything. So thank you for accommodating me, and thank you to Matt LaFleur for calling that last play before the field goal like watching a slow-motion car accident right in front of your face, which may be the quote of the year that he said today.
And who did he put that on? Did he say his?
He took all the blame. Oh, sorry to interrupt. No, he just took it all. Sorry. Back to the cut.
I think the way he answered it, he did. He doesn't throw his quarterback under the bus. But I think the way he answered it was clear because when you say that it was like watching a slow motion car accident in front of your face, that would be indicating that you're not the one driving the car causing the accident, right?
Yeah.
So he's watching Jordan Love drive that car, and the incredible lack of urgency there. He explained it later on about how they were in kind of a no huddle approach instead of a 2-minute when they're supposed to be going at warp speed, and that's all fine and good. But and this is my argument about Jordan, who again has a portion of the fan base that is just insistent on it's always got to be someone else's fault, not his. and not even Jordan Love views it that way, but part of the fan base does. You're in your third year as a starter. Like, you have to know better there, right? There has to be that urgency, and you have to be the one as the field general telling all the guys around, hey, come on, we gotta go. Hey, let's go, let's go. And they weren't. It was just sort of a lollygagger approach, and we know what happens to lollygaggers, at least in Bull Durham. So again, that was bad. They were incredibly lucky. To Homer's point, I don't know if that's something that the NFL can adjust from New York. Like, let's say you've got a hometown clock management guy there who lets the clock strike zero. Is the NFL able to put on a second after the fact? Maybe. Certainly not at a high school game. They're not that good. But like that, they are so lucky that that ball hits Jack Sanborn, former Badger, in the back, because otherwise, if it sails through the end zone, that game is over, and they do lose.
Other than that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln? Because I think the defense struggled a bit too.
Yeah, I would quite frankly say that there were lots of. It was not a blockbuster Broadway musical, that's for sure. It was a comedy of errors, some might say. Like, the one thing I would say is that going into that game, I felt like the one thing that I was sure of was that they had a really good defense, right? Mm-hmm. And now I find myself thinking, well, did I overvalue them? Did they just have a bad day? Are the Cowboys better offensively? I mean, they gave the Eagles everything they could handle in the opener, right?
And the Giants.
Right, yeah, well, yeah. They did score a lot of points against the Giants. But I don't know, like, I feel like I'm not usually getting the wool pulled over my eyes. But in that instance, I feel like I definitely did, or I'm just looking at it and I'm wrong about they were just bad for one day. And I hope that that's the case.
I worry that they are maddeningly inconsistent as they were a year ago. They keep showing us what their best is, and then they kind of take it away and hide it for a while. Has LaFleur spoken to this kind of inconsistent, not effort, but inconsistent kind of product that we see?
Yeah, I think it's why he emphasized the fact that it's a week-to-week league, right? Like, I think – he got irritated, obviously, with the commentary from Rasheed Walker about playing in the, going undefeated. I would say that when I look at this team, the inconsistency defensively that's baffling to me. Like, I think offensively, I don't know about you, but I'm not surprised. Like, I thought they were even inconsistent in the games they won, right? I mean, they had long stretches where they weren't super productive offensively. So I don't know. I don't know what the consistency will look like. Like, going back to Homer's point about how you can win with Love, but you don't quite know just how good Love is. And he has these moments. Like, if those happen in critical moments, you're in trouble, obviously. So I'm not sure where they will eventually land offensively. It was encouraging that they ran the ball better, obviously. But beyond that, man, I'm not sure. I thought I knew who they were. I thought they were a good team, that the offense would do enough and the defense would make life easy for their quarterback and their offense. And at this moment, that is not the case.
And yet, right, I don't know if I can divorce myself from the last bit of that. the last few seconds of that overtime. And yet that guy responded every time they came back and Dallas took the lead. Jordan Love took his team down and they scored and they retook the lead, right? Like there are so many things that I was impressed with, which I guess makes the end of it more baffling. But I thought there were times I'm like, okay, he looked like the $55 million quarterback right up until kind of the last play or two. Your thoughts on that?
Well, quite frankly, I would argue that if they don't botch the end of the game, let's say they still tie. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say they still tie, but it's not the way they wound up tying. Like
Yep.
they use the clock properly, but they can't connect. A couple of good defensive plays, and it doesn't happen for them. Then you know what the conversation is? Boy, look at the way Jordan Love every time 16-13, right? 20 to 16 or 23-20 or what? Like it was like 5 times in a row that he brought them back to take the lead. And that would be the conversation we'd be having about the offense. We'd be talking about how the defense was not who we thought they were for at least that game. We'd be talking about how is Rich Bisaccia's guys continuing to allow extra points or field goals to be blocked. And we'd be talking about how Jordan Love, after being not very good in Cleveland, got them the lead back every single time they fell behind, and then tied the game in overtime after they fell behind there too. Like, that would be the conversation. But because of the way they handled the final minute of overtime, that's not the conversation about the offense.
How long do we have before we tip off again? What is the North? Are they the Vikings or the Northmen, or what are they, the Norsemen?
They are the Golden Raiders, according to the sign outside the building that I'm about to walk into.
All right. Homer, do you have anything? You've been so good, so patient. Anything for Jason before we cut him loose to be, Dad of the Year?
I wish to say I caught all the comments while you were talking from the cot by Matt LaFleur, and he did everything possible to blame his quarterback, other than to blame his quarterback. I think the translation is, I didn't think that's possible. I didn't think I really had to address it. I think he views it similar to It's like his quarterback forgetting his helmet. He's
but not just him. The other guys on the field also have
correct.
That
they are,
cramp,
but
the quarterback has to be the one who gets
right. And if they don't get it, then he just has to throw the ball away sooner, and then goes to his coach. Hey, the coach isn't going to say he doesn't understand what happened. The coach is now saying, I cannot comprehend how this happened.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he believes they can win a Super Bowl with Jordan Love just like I do.
Also true.
Yeah. I do have one thought, and I believe it hasn't been mentioned enough in terms of the positive thought about the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
They have gotten very, very little from Micah Parsons. And the reason to believe this defense will never play like this again is he's got to and will have a greater role in every game, which will make such a game impossible because of at least that position. The most positive thing is don't you assume they're going to get way more from Micah Parsons during the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he, upon further review, I thought he was pretty good on Sunday night. Like, he had 6 or 7 pressures. I think he was credited with 8. I thought maybe 1 or 2 after watching it backward.
Which proves
little
to me
nickel
that
dimery.
pressure doesn't mean what I thought it meant.
Well, but here's the issue.
Yes.
One of the things that is so great about him theoretically is his rising tide lifts all boats, and we had seen that in the first 3 games. We did not see that on Sunday night. Like,
the boats,
Rashawn
all those
Gary
boats had a leak.
Right. Rashawn Gary was a non-factor.
Yes.
Lucas Van Ness was a non-factor, and that was a problem.
So, all right, I'll give you that. But if the pressures were that valuable, it shouldn't. What's the value of a pressure? It's supposed to make it harder for the offense, which it didn't. Right? There was no.
Well,
was there any pressure on the quarterback the whole game long? And I thought, no, even the sack wasn't really a sack. He just caught the quarterback and prevented a touchdown, but that wasn't a sack, right? We agree on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was a sack statistically, but no, but
not a sack.
The idea of what an ideal pressure that's not a sack is what he did on the interception that Evan Williams had in the opener against the Lions, right? It forces a throw prematurely, inaccurately, and either it's an incompletion because it's third down, you get a punt, that's a really productive pressure without it being a sack, or that's ideal, you get a turnover out of it. Yep.
No, I thought pressures were more important than what I saw in that game. But
they certainly did not have as much of an impact as they would have liked, that's for sure.
All right, thanks for letting me get off the cot. Thanks, Jason.
Thanks for accommodating me so I can go to my big volleyball match. All right, guys, take care. Be good.
Bum set, Spike.
Next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Southbound on 41, backing up from Bradley Road all the way down past Good Hope, back on the brakes for Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol. Northbound is going to be solid from Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Capitol Drive. As you continue through the Zoo interchange, you're going to see delays from Blue Mound Road all the way down to about Cleveland. On eastbound 94, we got backups from Highway 164 all the way past Brookfield Road, back on the brakes from about 92nd Street through the Stadium interchange to 35th. Westbound's heavy from 20th Street to Mitchell Boulevard and through the Zoo interchange into Waukesha County. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, a few clouds, a low of 61 at the lake, 56 inland. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 70 at the lake, 77 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Get your golf fix every Tuesday night at 6 with On the Tee.
Like, Spieth is probably going to, embarrass me at some point. The hell do you know? Shut up and carry the bag.
Join Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson as they dissect all things pro golf and tell the tales of their own golfing journeys in Wisconsin.
I think it's golf in its purest form, and I think it should bookend the golf season.
Go On the Tee with Gabe and Stephen, sponsored by Majestic Oaks at Lake Lawn Resort and Gruber Law Offices. Tuesday nights at 6 on 94.5 ESPN and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Bye week for the Green Bay Packers, and head coach Matt LaFleur keeps it pretty simple on what he's focused for his team with 13 games remaining in the NFL regular season.
You got to get these guys their bodies back, and then we all also understand that it's going to be a long haul after the bye, so you better get your mind right to go on that journey and to try to get a little bit better every day.
Audio courtesy of Packers.com. The Packers will take this week off before returning to action at Lambeau Field, where they're 2-0 this year, in Week 6 against the Cincinnati Bengals next Sunday.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank.
Concerned about fraud? Tri-City's got your back. Use debit card alerts. Help stop a card hack. You'll get notified when your card's being used so you can prevent your account from abuse. Tri-City National Bank, member FDIC.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Did you know Love was born November 2nd? Did you know Love was raised in Bakersfield, California? Did you know Love played college football at Utah State? Are you looking for lots of Love touchdowns the rest of this football season? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where we love being your one-stop shop for everything alcohol-related. With our selection of over 15,000 varieties of beer, wine, liquor, and mixers, all at the lowest prices in town, Discount Liquor has all your tailgating needs covered. We are your football party beverage headquarters. Discount Liquor, 2 locations, Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is the John Anderson Homer Hour. I'd like to report Game 1 goes to the Cubs over the Padres. I believe the score was 3-1, but the score doesn't really matter. Cubs won the game. And I'd like an immediate thought from John Anderson.
On the Cubs win?
Yeah, if there's any thought whatsoever. There may be no thought. That would be a thought. Someone asked me, it looks like we're going to play the Cubs, and I would say yes. I think given it's not over, but yeah, I would say I believe that the Cubs will likely be the opponent.
Be nice for Counsell to finally win a playoff series. That'd be good for him.
Okay. That, for those of you who don't know, was 1,000% salt. I don't know that you would. Do you enjoy jabbing anyone as much as you enjoy jabbing Counsell? I don't think so. I don't.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't know all your resume. Well, Kansas doesn't count.
Okay.
Kansas and Missouri isn't jabbing. That's a gun. That's my line. What would it take for you to go out on a date? A gun to the head from Shelley Long at the Second City back in 1979. You can't say that now, but
No.
yeah, your hate.
Yeah, I kind of like. I guess I like to poke at him. That's fine.
Yeah, that poke.
I do think they are a better team than San Diego. So I think that's who the Brewers are going to have to deal with. And I guess I'm okay with that because they do see them enough, right? The Padres were pretty good when they came in that series and took care of them. I think now that doesn't mean it's not going to be, tough as hell, but I kind of feel like if they're against the Cubs, and it works both ways, but I think they know exactly what they're up against, both in terms of personnel, in terms of going into Wrigley or playing here in Milwaukee. And so I kind of like that in that case, I like the familiarity of it all.
And I got to ask your help on this. I have 2 tickets to the games for that series.
God bless you.
Well, they're up in the they're in the bleachers. But 2 for game 1, 2, and 5. I want to charge $1,000 a ticket, and if I get $1,000, will you give me approval to sell it to anyone for $1,000 a ticket? That would mean.
That is not
$1,000 for the first
not
game.
That's not how I would go about it.
All right,
So,
you would not approve.
No,
unless it was a Brewers fan. It was a Brewers
I am
fan.
not here. I'm not here.
No, I know. That's why I asked you, because I know you'd be honest, and you would be disappointed in me if I sold it for $1,000 a ticket, unless I knew for sure that it was a Brewers fan.
Even at that price, how about this? I would be disappointed in me if I did that. I cannot control your behavior.
I know, but I'd like to think that you have some level of respect for me or like me. You would be disappointed.
I would not do that.
Yeah, you would not do that, and you would be a little disappointed and surprised if I did. That's why I asked you, because now I can't do it. You're like you and Tim Van Voren are my, I don't know, some level of. Nah, that's going too far. You need a governor. You could have said that. No, Homer. On this one, you need a governor.
I hear it beeping. The governor's on. You're beeping a little bit.
Yeah, you can't. There are various. I'm sure people if your family didn't want to go, that you could take care of this.
Think about some kid that really wants to go, and you just sold it to him and for face value, and what you do to that guy as opposed to jacking it up on him.
Right. Again, nicely said, with some sugar rather than salt.
I watched my father when he had extra Packer tickets all the time. And by the way, this is very odd now. This is another reason I missed the paper ticket, right? That used to be my favorite thing. Like, you want to talk about one of the highlights of my year as a kid was when the tickets came, and to just look at these things with the helmets on them. Like, it was just, and whether it is Mark Wagner, who's the Packer ticket forever, or now it's Philip Caldwell. And I say to him, like, I miss not getting the tickets. And they send them to me at the end of the year. And even then when they come, I'm like, I can't believe it's still one of the most exciting days. And I'm 60. That's how stupid I am. But I can still see my dad. And usually it was my buddy Joe Vaness. If he ever had an extra ticket, he usually just gave it to some kid standing there. I don't think I ever saw my dad charge the kid even $2 back in the 70s, which is about what the Packers were worth maybe in that time.
And it's not the same on the phone. I agree.
And now, like, how do I do that? Like, oh, here, buddy, I'm going to do this. Let me make sure
it works. We do the doesn't screw up. Like, oh, I don't get it.
Let's do where the phones touch and do the thing, and it comes over. Like, it's nothing better than to watch a kid hold the ticket, right? And you're just
can you do that with the phones touching? Charlie. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you literally look like Charlie from Willy Wonka. You got the golden ticket to go in and see a Packer game. That was such a big thing, you know. But go ahead, sell them for $1,000.
No, I won't. No, I won't. It's over. It's done. I'm not doing it. I won't even consider going through the process. It's now $5,000. No.
Right.
It was like, let's get to, this is LaFleur. It was like watching a slow motion car crash in front of your face. It was just looking at the clock like, oh my God, there's going to be no time left. It's a very humbling experience. It's unacceptable, quite honestly. I'm sure it'll be a teach tape around the league. Yeah.
Around the league? He thinks everybody's that dumb?
No, to show to people the amount of time. There'll be, Rick Majerus told me this on when you foul, when you're up by 3, 4 seconds. So you're up by 3 and you foul if there's 4 seconds. More than 4 seconds. I go, how do you know that? He goes, I don't, but the NBA says that's what it is, and they study everything. 4 seconds, 4 seconds. So they'll have a time where they'll tell quarterbacks, you need to release it by whatever, 5s. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Depending on what you play, understanding the amount of time that could elapse. But yeah, I think it will be a teach tape. And everybody watches will go, what the hell was he thinking?
You are going to have that quote in your teeth forever.
What?
The slow motion car correct. That one will be at the ready for you all the time.
All right, let's. Pebble says he had the honor because I think they had conversation about either throw it in the end zone or whatever. He didn't think it was necessary to throw it before the clock runs out. But we'll see. Here we go. Pebble, fire away.
Jordan comes off after the incompletion that leaves the 1 second left. And you're not ranting and raving and yelling at him, but you can see on the TV, you talk to him. So what's the message there?
I don't even know because it was like watching a slow motion car crash in front of your face where I'm just looking at the clock. And I'm like, oh my God, there's going to be no time left. I mean, it's a very humbling experience to go through that. And it's unacceptable, quite honestly. So. And there's nothing we can do about it now other than we better learn from it, everybody. I'm sure it'll be a teach tape for around the league, to be honest with you.
That's, by the way, that coach, that's nice of you to throw in everybody, but it's a little late.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like, all right, everybody. No. That's quarterback stuff. But I give him credit. He tried to throw that in, everybody. There was no everybody on the slow motion car crash.
Right. That was a single car crash. That was not a.
There were 8 people driving at the time. It's a very strange car.
Yeah, it's not 11. It's not 11 car or a 30 team pileup. It is. It was just your one guy. But
by the way, we'll break. But back to the Brewers and the Cubs. I really want it to be the Cubs because I think there's a chance for the first time, and it's where the Brewer fans will trump the Cub fans. And take some pride in this is our home. And it's always been in almost every case where the Cubs fans rule.
Yeah.
And there's a complaint. But I think and there maybe have been a couple games where they didn't this year, given the joy of this particular Brewers team. But I really want to see that. I want there to be a game in which, and there will be, in which the Brewer fans will dominate like they never have before at Miller Park. So, and I want to have 5 comments from you about Craig Counsell, preferably 3 so that it only goes 3 games. But just want to let everybody know, Brewers, Cubs, will be highlighted by John Anderson, and every comment we will keep him on file that he makes about Craig Counsell during that entire season, and it will be historic.
I admit it. I should be better at letting things go, and sometimes I'm not.
I don't know that applies here at all. I think your position is most reasonable. Born in this town, his dad worked for this team. He worked for this team. Screw you! I'm taking the money and a better chance.
That's the guy who's willing to take $1,000 for a ticket.
No, I didn't. I asked about it. I also said about Counsell, I wouldn't have done it. I would have gone somewhere else.
Yeah, I would have gone somewhere else too.
But I like Craig Counsell. I've met him a few times. He doesn't really. I saw him last at a Notre Dame game, Marquette Notre Dame, and he said, "Wow, what are you doing here?" And I thought, well, he clearly knows I'm the voice of Marquette basketball. He got that fired up there. Must have thought I retired or wasn't there anymore. And I have a life understanding Notre Dame, so
I never had an interaction with him. But when Good Karma put on the Wisconsin State Sports Awards one time,
yes,
he was there. And there was some question if he was going to show. He was like, "Okay, Anderson's involved." Tell him he can't be mean or make jokes, because the first time they did it, okay, I was emceeing and Aaron Rodgers was there, and so was Ryan Braun, okay,
right.
And then this is that
was the first time I observed your salt and sugar. I thought you were phenomenal.
Remember, those guys they've gone in some restaurant venture.
Correct. Together,
and
yes.
It was 12 and then an asterisk and 8. And I said to him, you work so hard to clear your name, and then you voluntarily put an asterisk by your number. That seems dumb. And now this was before all the stuff broke, right? So then afterwards, now we find out that perhaps he did take these things and he did throw the poor sample guy driver under the bus and all these other things. And somehow it comes out like I was the mean guy to Ryan Braun. And I'm like, wait a minute.
You would have never said that had all that stuff occurred.
No, and the fact that it came out later isn't my fault. Like, that's the guy that did it, not me.
Hold on. Now admit it. You knew all that stuff. You have inside information. You were at ESPN, and you were the best insider of all times. You kept everything quiet, even though you knew everything. Yeah, and this time...
And that's where I chose to out him. And then even though it didn't come out for another 2 years. And I'm all about it. Like, I love Braun. I love the fact that he plays with the Brewers. I'm fine. I'm not really that objection. If you guys want to take that and hit home runs for my amusement and abuse your body, go ahead. Risk it all you want. Anyway, so Counsell, then it comes out like somehow I had made this cheap shot at him. And I'm like, well, if I'd have said it 3 years later, it would have been. But in the moment that it happened, it wasn't a cheap shot. It was what I thought to be a fairly funny joke. But yeah, so he didn't want to come, or he wanted assurances that I was not going to pick on him or the Brewers.
That really surprises me. I just have always taken even the stuff with the Cubs. I just assume he didn't give it any thought, and whatever happens, happens. And I got to do what I think is best for me at this time. Please don't say anything about your family. They have nothing to do with it. Not you or anybody. When you get 100.
So instead, I wore my I Believe in Jesus shirt, which was good.
Yes. That one you're always. No, I would say I used to think you'd be safe with that, but I'm not sure anymore about anything. All right. We will get to the next quarter with John Anderson. It'll be good. Will it be sugar or salt or both?
Oh, please.
Next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Northbound on 4394, we've got backups from about Lincoln all the way up through the Marquette, all the way around the North Avenue curve. Southbound's backed up from Capitol Drive down through the Marquette down to about Lincoln, where there is an accident still off on the left shoulder. Westbound 94, you're slowing down from 17th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes west of Highway 100, all the way past Elm Grove Road and in pockets past Moreland and across the Barker Road area. Eastbound still slowing down right past Barker Road, and again through the Zoo interchange all the way to about 35th Street. And then on southbound 41, backing up from Bradley Road to Good Hope, back on the brakes from Appleton Avenue down to Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by Dick & Ralph Heating and Cooling, now hiring HVAC installers and service technicians. Join a winning positive team culture that sets them apart. Apply today at dickandralph.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. A few clouds, low of 61 at the lake, 56 inland tomorrow. Partly cloudy, a high of 70 at the lake, 77 inland. Weather is brought to you by The Pickler, Menominee Falls. Try all 9 indoor courts with unlimited play for 30 days, just $30. Start your trial at thepickler.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Rich Eisen.
It is a quarterback-driven league, and everything that I'm reading and also gleaning from those we talk to here on this show, as well as those who I talk to around, the 4 and out inside the 10-yard line with the game 22-9, with enough timeouts and a 2-minute warning to try and get the ball back and win the game with no timeouts remaining, that Russ throwing one so far up the tunnel that it was an intentional grounding, and then not doing very much on a quarterback draw. You could say it's a play call. And then on 3rd and 4th down, throwing it out of the back of the end zone, rather than putting it on a wide receiver and maybe getting a flag, maybe getting something. You could say the protection was bad. But yesterday, Schlereth said it was because he didn't want to throw an interception, because that counts on a ledger and is a legacy breaker. Called it selfish, which is one way to put it. Another way to look at it is Russ was fighting for his life and he's just throwing it away, which is making no sense. I heard that was the last one.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form, and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Hi, I'm Jim Frucci, Managing Partner and PGA Professional at Morningstar Golfers Club, and I'd like to personally invite you to play your next round of golf at Morningstar. Lush green fairways, velvet smooth greens, magnificent vistas from high above our championship golf course. Morningstar was created with the serious golfer in mind, and it continues to be the public course by which all other area public courses are measured. Book your tee time today and reserve a spot on our membership wait list. Come out and see what all of Southeast Wisconsin's been talking about. Hey, you played the rest. Now play the best.
Are you going back? Cheer on your UW Whitewater Warhawks football team as they return home to face UW Lacrosse in a top 10 battle this Saturday in Whitewater. This conference opener kicks off at 1 p.m. Make plans to bring the family for Alumni Day and Family Fest at Perkins Stadium. Get tickets now at uwwsports.com. Experience national championship level college football this Saturday when the Warhawks welcome in the Eagles. Kickoff at 1 p.m. Buy your tickets at uwwsports.com. Warhawk football, powered by tradition.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Good. Okay. You can still wear
Fisco Auto Body, because they're that good. How can they be that good? Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin. Pretty simple. It's a family business owned since 1931, and the family's still doing it. Yes, it's not what they do, it's who they are. And by the time they're doing the work, can you imagine how many years they've been doing it before they do your car? Family business, family still running it and doing it. Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin. Expert workmanship guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. Fisco. So you remember the name. The John Anderson Homer Hour. And we have a question I have posed since after the game, because the Packer defense and all the points they gave up, you need to know that they were controlling the Dallas Cowboys. First 3 possessions, One first down by Dallas. One first down. In the fourth possession, and again, after the Packers gave up the 2 points on the extra point, the next time Dallas got the ball, they were 3 and out. So it wasn't like the defense was, the team quit or everything changed, whatever. No. On the fourth possession, at midfield, Devontae Wyatt got hurt. He didn't play anymore. Dallas scored a touchdown on that possession. They scored a touchdown on the end of the first half after the turnover. They punted their first possession in the second half and then scored touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. 5 of 6 possessions, a touchdown, after one first down in 3 possessions with Wyatt on the field. I never knew he was that good, and I'm not sure he's that good. But he's going to be week to week with his knee injury, says Matt LaFleur. How good did you think he was? And is this just a coincidence? John Anderson.
I think we probably need more information before that happens. But I do think defensive tackles sometimes when they're in there, they're hard to gauge exactly how much they affect one way or the other because they're down there taking up bodies and getting mauled, and they don't always have the highest tackle totals, or they don't usually aren't the ones that are supposed to get the sack totals, and they are kind of one of those guys that what is it they say? You want to make yourself so valuable at work that they miss you more when you're gone than know you're there, right? And I think that's him. Like all of a sudden he was gone. Like, wow, I didn't know we missed that guy as much, but now we know he's gone. So I think there's certainly some of that. And maybe he has stepped up his play in the absence of, or not absence, the moving of Kenny Clark to Dallas. But those guys by nature, I think of Pat Jones, who coached at Oklahoma State for many, many years. And they had a guy, Wendell Gaines, Big Wendell. And he said, because we don't know exactly what he's doing down there, but he's doing something. And we'll watch it on film. But he's doing something. And I think that's where Wyatt is. He's always doing something that I think is good. And, we saw the value when he went out of there. If they have trouble again this time around, luckily it's bye week. But if it comes back and they struggle again with the Bengals, which right now it doesn't look like anyone should struggle with the Bengals, but you shouldn't struggle with the Browns either, then we'll know more. But I don't know that was a one-man breakdown that happened with Dallas for the final 35 or whatever minute was. I'm constantly amazed at how much momentum means in an NFL game, and that blocked conversion gave them life, and then the turnover and the quick touch, and you're just like, wow, how are they behind in this game? And that's it doesn't take long, right? That was Cleveland. How long did it take for that game to turn from a win to a loss? It took 4 minutes, and that's the same thing that happened here. So they're really good. You got to win more than the 56 minutes of the game. You got to win all 60 of them, and it bit them again there, and then they just never could get it under control in the second half. Nor did Dallas control the Packers either, and so. Those 2 points, it's amazing how you leave points out there or you give them away free that they come back to haunt you, which is what I preached the first 2 weeks of the season, man. You can't just leave points out there. You can't just bleed them out. And they, had that happen, and then they gave some free ones to the other side. It's tough to overcome.
Micah Parsons singled out Devontae Wyatt's injury on Sunday when asked why the defense dropped off, called Wyatt a dominant player. He's underlooked in his value on his team. I would like to take that seriously, but Micah Parsons has basically said everybody on the defense is Reggie White.
They're all dogs.
Hasn't he all just... And so he's lost any credibility, right? In terms of assessing.
I don't know. Like,
all right,
he's
we'll get
on
a
the
list.
line.
I'll get a list of comments he's had about the other defensive players. All the defensive
Hall of Famer Javon Bullard.
Yes, Deion Sanders. We got him in there. We got the best cornerbacks ever. And
first team All-Pro Nate Hobbs. Yeah, I can see where that might get you.
Because it's possible, but I just never thought. It's like, why did the defense fail? Bad equipment manager. The shoulder pads were put on properly. I mean, Devontae Wyatt, come on. The kicker wasn't as good because the tee was bad. I think do they even still have a tee? I think they're just flat. I don't know what they are. I guess they have to have one to kick off. This has nothing to do. Oh shoot, what's happened to my? But I really want to follow up, and I want to follow up from you first. This is David Bakhtiari. Romeo Dobbs' success is the fact that he is a pro's pro. Very detailed and reliable with steady improvement. The best part is the kind of man he is off the field. Genuine and heartfelt. I'm a big fan of Rome's game as a player and character as a person. I'm curious as to your response because I had an immediate response after reading this on Twitter. Do you have any particular response?
Well, a lot of that seems to be in line with what Jason Wilde says about him, right? And it makes all the 1 week he had all the more baffling.
Yeah,
where he decided he just didn't want to play.
Yes.
That's I take from that I think probably these guys know each other. Jason's been around him. It's amazing to me then how did that 1 week thing flare up and come up? That just makes it more of a mystery with every message we get.
And it was a mystery. Now it's like why did Mr. Rogers punch the guy in the face? Right? Based on what they're saying. All right. Not as good as what you had to say, but here was my response. Wow. I would like your comment about Aaron Rodgers and his success addressing all you addressed with Dobbs. Please. Please. You think it's coming?
No. If it is, it'll be flattering. That's his guy. It'll be flattering.
Oh. Will he be more flattering than Dobbs or less flattering than Dobbs or the exact same as Dobbs?
I don't know. But all
right.
Maybe was it Greg Jennings? I'd name a guy that really has blasted Aaron. There's not a ton of them.
That's correct. But,
right?
Well, but you never know privately because that's really where it comes out. The receivers, it's always kind of been he didn't throw the ball my way, and that makes you think more about the receiver than the quarterback generally. But you never know until you talk to people privately because who's going to take on Aaron Rodgers? I'm not. How's that going to work? All I feel that I could say that I'd get away with is, dude was weird. Well, what do you mean? I can't really explain it. Just weird. Everybody will accept that, correct?
Yeah, when he left town, that's what I wrote in a story for ESPN one time. I said, in the end, people, I don't know that they're mad at him. They just don't relate to him. I said, they think he's weird. That's where I said that people in Wisconsin do darkness retreats, but we just call them duck blinds or tree stands.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I sold him some firewood and he used it in his meal with his corn. Okay, I'll believe that.
You want to eat dirt, go at it.
Yes. Fourth quarter with John Anderson next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Why Z-Bart? Because you don't want rust holes in your expensive vehicle. Let Z-Bart keep the rust away with professional rust protection. Only at Z-Bart.
Bye week for the Green Bay Packers, and head coach Matt LaFleur keeps it pretty simple on what he's focused for his team with 13 games remaining in the NFL regular season.
You got to get these guys their bodies back, and then we all also understand that it's going to be a long haul after the bye, so you better get your mind right to go on that journey and to try to get a little bit better every day.
Audio courtesy of Packers.com. The Packers will take this week off before returning to action at Lambeau Field, where they're 2-0 this year, in Week 6 against the Cincinnati Bengals next Sunday. I'm Alex Stroh.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Why Z-Bart? Because cars, trucks, and SUVs still rust. They do. Just look around the parking lot. Well, it doesn't have to happen, people. Google Z-Bart rust protection, call Z-Bart, and keep your car rust-free.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with Accutrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use Accutrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. Accutrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at Accutransgroup.com.
At Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber Group, we do more than close deals. We serve with gratitude and faith-filled purpose. We've sold over $300 million in real estate since 2020, one of the top-ranked real estate teams in Wisconsin, and we're just getting started. What sets us apart? We care. Even if we're not your agent, we'll still help. That's the kind of stewardship the community deserves. If you're buying or selling across southeastern Wisconsin, let us earn your trust. I'm Tony Wendorf, and I want to create your red carpet experience. Contact us at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some exciting news from my friends at Bank 5-9.
Not only have they been named a top workplace for 16 straight years, but they've just won the prestigious Community Choice Award as the best bank in the Milwaukee area. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Not only do they have great products and services, but they truly live out their mission to make lives better. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check out The Best. Visit bank59.com to learn more today. Member FDIC.
Neck and back surgeries can be risky. Your spine deserves the best. Professional athletes trust Neurospine Center of Wisconsin, including baseball, where surgeon Dr. Brandon Rebels helped get Milwaukee's MVP back on the field for a stellar season. We can help you too, with the top nationally rated spine surgeons in the state for quality outcomes. You can trust the professionals at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Get a second opinion in just a few clicks. Now offered virtually throughout Wisconsin. Visit nscwi.com. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is our passion.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Quarter with John Anderson. He's always open to any rip about Kansas, but I don't usually have to ask for it. You don't have anything. Missouri's football team is good.
We are 5-0. 5-0 as we go to the bye week, but then we'll get tested. Now we got Bama and some real teams. We haven't really played anybody that's
so you're not
any good.
Yeah, you're tough.
KU's fraudulent.
What?
KU's fraudulent, so they that's not much of a win other than you need to beat them. But South Carolina's not very good, so we'll see.
Discount Liquor Twitter poll question: what surprises you more, the Packers 2-1-1 or the Bears at 2-2? To me, it's the Bears at 2-2. It isn't even close, but that's not the. I only get one vote in the poll. What is yours?
Which is more surprising?
Yes.
I don't know. I thought the Packers right now, especially after the first week, I thought they'd be 4-0. So I'm kind of surprised that they're 2-1-1. Didn't think they're going to win them all, but I thought the Cleveland game was a gimme, and I didn't think Dallas was any good, even though, like I said, Dak seems to always keep his team in it. So I might be more surprised by that.
Pro Football Focus. Edgerrin Cooper has missed 10 tackles in 4 games. He missed 13 in 14 games last season. That seems bad. However, I'm having difficulty with Pro Football Focus because they said that Micah Parsons had literally the best performance of anybody at any position in last week's games. And either that means they should fire the other 10 players. I didn't sense that he... That's the great. That again. That's when I don't believe. That's what makes me. That makes me think I don't believe Pro Football Focus. I don't know how they come across it, but
it now makes me wonder about that play where Parson was credited with a sack, because that is the rule. I'm not trying to pass judgment on what it is.
I agree with you on that, but it wasn't a real sack.
But Chris Collinsworth, who when he took some time off of drooling and slobbering all over the Cowboys, he was like, if Micah Parsons doesn't make that sack, that tackle, Prescott's in the end zone. And I thought Cooper was standing right in front of him, right? And I'm like, okay, you keep going. But Chris, are you watching the replay? Like, Cooper is literally right there. So now I'm wondering if, and I thought he would have made the tackle had Parsons not, but now you give me that stat, and I don't know. Maybe Coop would have done that. Would have airballed and he'd have gotten in. But
yes, that's a legitimate point that should have been mentioned at the time. I also had a debate over the unnecessary or unsportsmanlike conduct on the late hit by the Cowboy player, because I said that's just not a penalty. It may be 8 seconds late. He didn't hit the guy hard enough, and when it occurred, right immediately, I could tell the announcers were shocked. Like, yes, it was late, but don't you have to hit him? But everybody said I was crazy, and that was the easiest call ever. But now you can.
Well, I'm with you. I'm like, okay, so he popped the guy, but it wasn't. He didn't wreck him. But I think what they've tried to do in a lot of these things is
I know what you're going to say.
Legislate it to the point of it's right or wrong, and so you did it, and he was after the whistle and long enough that it didn't matter if you pushed him or if you clocked him, but. That's one of those where I think if that guy knew he was going to get a penalty, he was like, well, hell, I should have blown him up then. Like, if you're going to give me the 15, I should have gotten,
I want to credit Troy Aikman, which people don't like because they think he's mean to the Packers. I don't know. Anyway, he said about something else. It may have been a correct call, but it was not a necessary call. And I thought that is a brilliant comment about good officiating, right? There's a question of necessary, and Tausch talks about it where you like the playoffs because there are fewer calls. There's holding on every play, but that doesn't mean it's a necessary call. I want to steal that one. Is it as good as I think it is? You don't seem to be overly impressed with the concept.
No, like I had a rep tell me the difference between when he repped high school and up through college, and he's like, by the time you get to college, you're like, is there an advantage gained by what you just did? And if there's not, then I don't need to worry about it.
Even better way to put it.
That's the same kind of thing.
Yes, even better way to put it. Other than I say when a quarterback grabs a jersey, automatic penalty because you're an idiot. Don't grab the damn jersey. You can touch it, push it, whatever. Yeah. Don't grab it with your fingers. On the Tee is next live. And as usual, I had good, and the professor came up with a little better. Next.
Got an accident now.